In 1967, 4 undercover CIA agents go to NASA, posing as a film crew, to discover a cover-up for the Apollo mission. What? This thriller mystery comedy was released in 2016. Operation Avalanche. Yes. You know, we did not walk on no damn moon. It is 2026. Who the hell still thinks we walked on the moon? It would be great if we did, but we did not. Common sense tells you that we did not. General knowledge tells you that we did not. Book smarts tells you that we did not. This movie explains a lot. To be clear, this is not a documentary. It is a movie about the moon landing hoax, and it exposes a lot of lies. Here are my top 10 evidenci, plus a bonus. The bonus, everyone knows, but I will still mention it, so top 11. Number 11, Moon Solo. Star Wars has always been a defense initiative, but the space race was during the Cold War with Russia. USA was the only country to claim that we walked on the moon from 1969 to 1972, 3 years, but we never went back, and no other country walked on the moon. And it was a flawless mission. Really? Very interesting. Number 10, Man of Foil. A trip to the moon and back took about 8 days. The Apollo 11 mission spent about 3 days traveling to lunar orbit, about 22 hours on the moon, and another 3 days making the return journey to Earth. You mean to tell me that the astronauts did not get radiation sickness from the Van Allen belt to and fro, nor from the solar flares during travel and while being on the moon without an ozone layer, because you used thin layers of aluminum foil? Meanwhile, dentists leave the room to get behind a sheet of thick lead to avoid a split-second radiation burst. Apparently, astronauts die from exposing the lie instead of dying from radiation. Number 9, there he blows. Temperatures on the moon ranges from minus 300 degrees Fahrenheit in the shade to 250 degrees Fahrenheit in the sunlight, because there is no atmosphere, thus no ozone layer. Astronauts need a way to regulate their body temperature. In the sunlight, while walking on the surface, they need to stay cool. Heat released by the astronaut's body movements is transferred to the water, where it is carried to a refrigeration unit in the suit's backpack. The water runs across a porous metal plate that is exposed to the vacuum of outer space on the other side. Small amounts of water pass through the pores, where it freezes on the outside of the plate. As additional heated water runs across the plate, the heat is absorbed by the aluminum and is conducted to the exposed side. There, the ice begins to sublimate, which means it turns directly into water vapor and disperses into space. When you watch those moon videos, those water-sourced air conditioner backpacks should have produced frequent explosive vapor discharges. It never happened. Never. Do I have your attention now? Number 8. To see or not to see. That is the hesitation. We have the James Webb Space Telescope located near the sun that can see the earliest galaxies that formed shortly after the Big Bang and penetrate cosmic dust. We have the Hubble Space Telescope located in low Earth orbit that can observe objects up to 13.4 billion light years away. Meanwhile, you can't show me the flag left on the moon. If you don't want to use those telescopes, build a telescope just to see that historic flag. It only costs $1 billion. The Sphere in Las Vegas costs $2 billion. Our government collects $20 billion a day just from our federal taxes. Get it done. If it is really there, prove it. Number 7, big smile, say cheese. Name tags were on the suits, but you don't know who were in the suits because you can't see them. It could be actors or stunt performers for all we know. Imagine committing murder and having someone wear an astronaut suit with your name on it be at a different location. Your alibi will be, not guilty, Your Honor. As you can see, I was on the moon. My name tag proves that it was I in the suit. You can hear my voice too. It's not like you can combine a video file with a different audio file, not show my face and pretend it's me like they do in the movies. People aren't that stupid to fall for something like that, right? Number 6, big movie, but no stars. Skeptics will have you believe that 0 stars are acceptable, even though there is 0 atmosphere to block the view. When it comes to camera exposure, it is true that you won't see the stars if your main light is in front of the camera, because you need to adjust exposure for your subject in the foreground. In that case, you won't see stars. If your light source is behind you, you still have the white suits being the bright spot, but you have a better chance to get stars in the photo. If your subject are the stars, you can shoot them and expose for the stars. Here's the thing. They didn't shoot any stars. None. You were on the moon and you didn't shoot a sky full of stars as seen from the moon's surface? None? 0. Here's why. We have astronomers that will call you out on it. During the PGA Championship in 2000, the network was caught faking audio. An avid bird watcher was watching the broadcast and noticed that the birds he heard did not naturally reside in that part of the country. He dropped the mic. Ooh, pros. James Cameron shot a movie called Titanic that was released in 1997. Neil deGrasse Tyson called James out on it, saying it was astronomically wrong. We know the exact date, time, latitude, and longitude of the sinking. There is only one sky that should have been visible. James fixed it for the re-release. James Cameron was not being deceitful. As for the moon, we know the same information. The Eagle landed in the Sea of Tranquility in Site 2 at 0 degrees, 41 minutes, 15 seconds north latitude and 23 degrees, 26 minutes east longitude. If they showed the stars in the photos and videos, astronomers would drop the mic. Whew. Ho. Number 5, light fall off. Look at the photos and videos. That is confirmation that the moon is 2 acres in diameter. Say what? The moon's edge is too crisp and not vast. As for depth of field, the horizon should be flatter and less detailed. Even if they used an f/22 aperture, which they did not, the most distant vast surface would not be as crisp as the foreground. They used an f/11 in sunlight, f/8 on the side, and f/5.6 in the shade. If you are really on the moon, sunlight will light up the entire surface evenly, but you don't see that. There should not be a fall off with the sunlight. The photo shows a bright spot where the actors are with a fall off. Light fall off is the gradual decrease in a light source's intensity as it travels across a distance. Because light spreads out over a larger area as it moves further from the source, it dims and becomes less concentrated. This follows a mathematical rule called the inverse square law. Understanding light fall off is essential for capturing professional-looking photos and videos, and it affects how you set your subjects, backgrounds, and lighting, especially in a studio setting. As seen in the photos, the surface is bright nearest the light source and has a quick fall off since it is close to a surface. Sunlight would not do that. A studio light would. Which leads to number 4. Number 4, shadow angles. If your light source is the sun, shadows will not be at different angles. The sun is so far away that the shadows will be parallel. Different angles can be achieved if the light source is close to your subject, such as a studio light. You can have shadows go in opposite directions. Test it. Grab 2 objects, anything near you. Let's say mugs, and place them close on a table. Let's say a foot apart. Turn off all the lights so you can see what happens. After all, you should only have one light source, right? And between those objects, place a flashlight or phone and turn on the light. Boom. Shadows going opposite directions. This is possible because the light source is close to your subject and between them. Filmmaking 101. Now move that light as far as you can across the room and watch the shadows as you move. The further you are away from your subject, the shadows get a little more parallel. Place a white sheet under the objects, then do it again. Notice the light intensity and shadow intensity. This includes the dark side of your object, not just the casting shadow, right? The dark side, opposite side of the light on a surface of the body. While the flashlight is still on, turn on your room light. Look at your shadows now. Looks like the photos you see. A DIY mini film studio. Boom. Number 3, blast crater. The Lunar Excursion Module, LEM, slowed its descent by firing its propulsion system as a retro rocket. That's what we expect because they don't want to crash land. It fires 10,000 pounds of pressure downward to slow the descent. The closer you get to the surface, the more pressure is applied to the surface for a smoother landing. That makes sense. So where is the blast crater? Where is the regolith dispersion? The surface under the LEM is untouched. We see the footprints, so we know the regolith is still there. Where is the blast crater? Where? Did Harry Potter help you land? Huh? Moon'em, land'em, fake'em. Number 2, gravity guile. The moon's gravity is 1/6 that of Earth. That means you don't weigh as much, but your mass is unchanged. At 1/6 gravity, you would jump higher and further. When the astronauts hop, they should go higher and further if they were really on the moon. The height and distance that they hop and where they land is the same it would be when hopping in Earth's gravity. You're just seeing the video at half speed of the original to sell the lie. Apparently, putting it in slow motion fooled everybody. Double the speed of the video to normal speed, and you will see their physics is behaving as if they are in Earth's gravity instead of gliding above the surface. The moon buggy? At that speed and those bounces, that buggy and regolith, the moon dirt, should have flown off the moon. Watch it at double speed too. The physics doesn't make any sense if they were on the moon, but it makes sense if they were on Earth. This last one is the kicker. The nail in your deceitful coffin. It has never been mentioned, so this will be new to you. I told a few people. When I tell deniers this one, this is the one that changes their mind to finally see the truth. Number 1, show me the moonie. If you are really on the moon, there are 3 photos you should shoot to sell the lie that we walked on the moon. The first photo to sell the lie should be first steps. They covered that one because it is the most obvious. Of course, we call them out on it, like who took the photo and video, but you can research that, so I won't cover that here. The second photo to sell the lie should be moon surface, showing the astronaut looking at the vast, empty moon landscape with stars filling the sky. I mentioned the big movie, but no stars earlier. That will belong with the 3 photos, but you can research the rest. Now, this third photo, they never shot. No one mentions it, but I will. If you were really on the moon, you would shoot this photo. So what is it? Where is the photo where the astronaut is holding the Earth? Go ahead, pick your jaw off the floor because I need room to drop the mic. Boom. The truth is what I say it is. The point of a lie is to sell the illusion of truth. When you catch them in a lie, they will tell you another lie to convince you that the first lie was the truth. The lie only needs to be a possibility of truth instead of proving it. As soon as you think the lie is possible, the conversation ends, then they got you. It doesn't need to be true, it just needs to sound true for you to accept the lie. You do the rest of the work for them. To be convincing, they maintain the lie to the point where you accept it as truth and give up. They want you to be ignorant. Just like a murder mystery, you just need to poke one hole in their alibi to know it's all a lie. They want you to help them sell the lies while calling those that are speaking the truth conspiracy theorists. They will say it is a conspiracy theory when you call them out for the lies because they want to control their narrative. It's not a theory when it's true. Enjoy this one. Operation Avalanche is hot to watch.